Memphis, 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 Memphis. Nothing but Memphis. Everywhere we go, it's Memphis. Memphis, Tennessee, the beautiful land in the world.
And I'm thankful for this guy who tweeted and said I don't have that fire in my eye no more. That game right there was for him. That's what I do. I prove people wrong each and every night, and that's for him right there.
Hi, this is Tom Izzo at Michigan State, and you're listening to Grizz 901.
What up, Grizz fans? You see that I left the youths in the title today because the Utes carried the Grizz to victory on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Awesome tradition in Memphis, no matter what. But, man, those young bloods pulling it out for the guys today is something that, personally, I didn't expect. I was honestly a little bit concerned, especially if Jaren didn't have a big game, which he really didn't. GG Jackson and Vince Williams are the future in Memphis. It's awesome to see you obviously have some bad stuff going on with the Grizz, but Christmas has come late for Memphis. I'm not sure how we would say that, but either way, young guys pull it off. Grizz get a win against the Warriors on Martin Luther King. Always especially sweet to beat the Warriors. Always especially sweet to win on MLK Day. But I'll be your host for today, Nate Qualls. Unfortunately, Daniel is sick and weak, so I'm not sure if he's more sick or just more weak, but he's not here. He should be back later in the week, but that's okay. We're going to have a good show for you today. We're going to mix it up a little bit, bring another new face in here, go over the Grizz win today. Don't want to do it alone. May make it a short show just because of the holiday, but either way, we weren't going to miss a chance to celebrate with everybody today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in yours truly from the Daily Grind, Luke Hatmaker. Luke, what's going on, my guy?
What up? I normally have a rolly chair that I was going to roll in, but it's not a rolly chair today.
I know you're in a bit of a different
setup. It's too late
setup.
to grab it. There's someone else in the room with me telling me to grab the chair. I'm like, bro, it's across the room. I ain't going to grab that thing. It's too late.
Where are you? Where in the world are you? This is not your normal setup.
So this is my lady's house. I'm going to be moving in here soon. Yeah.
Got a lady.
I got a lady. This is Gary Lawler.
Listen, just yet another reason to celebrate. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at you go. You got Christmas lights and everything up. Still.
Yeah.
The Nutcracker's got to go. So
oh, Nutcracker. I was like, are you
away,
twitching? What's going on?
I just keep wanting to get rid of this, but here we are, still here. But Luke, you might be the good luck charm. We might have to have you replace Daniel. I was thinking about just making it Chris, but maybe you and Chris should just replace us on the show. But good win, man. Fun game. We got everybody in here coming in. I saw right off the bat, big dive, first one in here. We're just hooping, baby. Just hooping. Heaven's Healthy Kitchen. We'll get plenty of food references. That's one thing we've come to know from Heaven's Healthy in here. Memphis versus everybody. Our guy, King Meeks, quickly becoming one of our favorite regulars on the show. Coming in. Looks like Gigi got the interview from our guy, Dak. But listen, that's fun, man. That's fun. Off the top rope, what did you see in that game that just made you jump out of your chair? Because we all know who else it was.
Well, man, like, I mean, I did a little preview for the game, and I was nervous is the wrong word, but like the collective age of some of these guys that were playing was like 22 and a half. And, you know, like, we did just smoke the Warrior. Like, it just makes me nervous, man. But like Vince, I continue every effing day to get just more and more impressed with that dude. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I don't normally gamble on sports. You know this. I don't normally have the money to do so. I did tonight. I didn't win, but I hit everything that was on Vince. I hit all of them. And that dude just hoops. He just hoops, man.
Dude, not only is he just hoop, he's about to take some jobs.
Yes, he is.
Listen, we got about halftime. I was like, I think I'm over the Zaire minutes right now. Whether it was Roddy or whoever, but I mean, did you expect 2 games after we lost on our entire starting roster to be sitting here saying, why aren't we closing with GG Jackson?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I would have probably said like I was smoking something. I just said you were smoking something. I would have asked why weren't we partaking together is what I would have asked. I'd have been like, sir.
Listen, GG has been an absolute revelation the past couple of games. Tonight he finishes with 23, 6 and 1, 6 for 9 from the field, 5 for 8 from 3. I mean, quick with the release too. He was getting those things off quick. Just unbelievable night from him. Obviously Vince has continued to just be awesome, but the GG Jackson thing, man. Well, one, I know the Fire Taylor Jenkins crowd is just on cloud 9 because there's something going on where they can continue to push that agenda, and possibly rightfully so. But dude, his ability to just step in and what he's been doing in the G League, and I said this on the last show, but if you aren't following Mike at NBA Mike on Twitter and just seeing everything he's putting out about the hustle, you're missing it.
Because you are missing out.
Keeping up with my work, has been seeing all the stuff Gigi's been doing in the G League. And what you see now is it actually translates, which we see a lot of the time stuff doesn't always translate. Dude, immediately gets real minutes and comes in. I know our guy Chris is on cloud 9 as well. So.
Yeah, he is. That's who I've been in. Every time a shot goes in, I think of Chris. I
know, right?
Every time.
Well, and it's big. And to close that game is huge. You only have young guys, honestly, at this point. But to have somebody like Gigi, who's not gotten much run this year, come in and you close against Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and that Warriors team, it's something else. And listen, that Warriors team is a whole nother can of worms. That Warriors team has been a bit of a mess. But at the same time, that's a team that conceivably knows how to win, right?
Yeah.
Knows how to win and got outclosed by the young Memphis Grizzlies. So outside of Gigi, Jaren did not have a great night. I was really expecting him to go off, but the truth is he shot 20 field goals and 14 of them were from 3. What did you see there? Because it was driving me insane.
Man, me too. And I kept seeing his points. It was so weird because I had my phone out and I was also watching the game, and it's just like it felt like you were watching two separate games. Because if you were just watching the box score update, it's like, oh well, he's getting points. But if you're watching the game live, it's like, oh my god, dude, 4 for 20. Stop. Maybe you should stop.
Stop. The 14 is what gets me, man. Like you cannot. Yeah. He was 3 for 14 from the field, or 3 for 14 from 3, 4 for 20 from the field. You can't just get 6 shots in the paint against that team, man. Can't be that against that team. It's just they do not have the paint presence for that to be like something that can happen. Like he is too big, too athletic, too dominant for that to happen, and they just never manufactured those touches for him. And listen, credit to the Warriors, they did not let him get anything in the paint as far as just a post-up possession. Like that's what you're gonna see a lot as the Grizz, is they're going to collapse on Jaren. He saw 2 immediately every time he got it just in the post. And at the end actually made a couple of good decisions with that and led to some open threes. The Grizz hit them. Great play.
Yes.
My thing is you've got to just continue to go to that. You can't decide I'm uncomfortable and not go to that. You've got to grow in that and be able to actually make plays out of it. That's all right. Listen, Jaren's going to have it rough for a while until you get his other guys back because, quite frankly, who else are you going to collapse on? At this point, GG Jackson, Jacob Brewer might be the second best three-point shooter the team has at this point. And then Luke Kennard, I was borderline furious with in the first half.
Yep.
Because there's so many shots he doesn't shoot. And in my opinion, at this point, you've got to realize the rest of the team around you. And they're like, dude, if you got a shot, you got to shoot it. Like, you got to
shoot 10 threes. He needs to be shooting at least 10.
Yeah. At the same time, in the second half, I thought he did a lot more of orchestrating in the offense, which, to be frank, I wasn't sure he could do. Like, he is going to have to be the point guard. And he actually figured it out tonight. I got Big Die in the chat. Yeah, he looked uncomfortable.
Yep.
But in the second half, he looked like he settled in a little bit. Like, you figured it out. Now, Keith You know you're my guy. I got to bring this up. It's 2 games. Like, listen, I'm all good with Gigi. I'm all good with Gigi. At the same time, I think expecting him to shoot 5 for 8 from 3 every night is probably asking a little too much. If he does, and like I said, Christmas came late for Memphis this year.
Or really early.
Yeah. Late. The way our year's gone, listen. We can make a positive spin on it. We can't make that positive.
No, that doesn't make sense. My positive spin doesn't make sense.
And I will say the thing about Luke is he does exactly what you want everyone else to do. If he misses a shot, he's not going to be the guy to take the next shot. But that's not what you want from Luke. If it's an open 3, we want you to take it. Like if David Roddy misses a shot, I don't want him to take the next shot. Desire Williams misses a shot, I don't want him to take the next shot. Luke Kennard, if you're open from 3, let that thing fly, dude. Actually,
just keep him coming.
Yeah, and listen, got to bring in our guy. But he's just a regular on the show. Goon. We play so much better without Jaren. I don't know if you noticed, Jaren played tonight and we won. So as opposed to the last time when we scored 22 points less and lost. But Goon, always happy to have you in here. If you aren't in the chat, if you're on Twitter, YouTube, wherever, we can get comments from everywhere now. Make sure you join us in the chat. It's the best way to come out here. Listen, we're always going to try and find ways to scrape out some fun as we go through the rest of this year. Listen, nights like this, you beat the Warriors. It's on national television. Gigi Jackson shows out. Vince Williams shows out. It's MLK Day. Really easy to have some fun. But a lot of times it might be hard to have fun. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here after every game, grieve together, celebrate together. But make sure you get in our chat. And while you're in there, make sure you hear about Streetcars of Memphis. Streetcars of Memphis is the newest, proudest sponsor of the Grizz 901 podcast. And they can do anything you need. I was telling Chris last show, just paid off my car note. So I'm looking to get some things done in my car whenever I can. But Streetcars of Memphis, regular maintenance for all your car modifications, speakers, lights, wheels, they do it all. And for this month only, use code GRIZZ901. Receive a $55 regular oil change or $65 synthetic oil change. Heck of a deal. Huge savings. Go check them out at 901scm.com or call 901-323-3332. Go get your car checked out, man. Go get some wheels on that thing. Do it in my spirit, in my presence for me, because I'm still a little bit broke, but we're working on it. But make sure you check out Streetcars of Memphis. They're the official sponsor of the Grizz 901 comment section, why we make this thing happen. But getting back to the game, let's talk about the Warriors a little bit.
Dude.
Tell me what you saw, because I got some thoughts on those Warriors, but I want to hear your before I get
man, I saw it seems like the only dudes on that team who were playing with a sense of fire were, I'm not even gonna try to say his name because it kills me. Pods and I want to say it correctly every time, but that Pods and Kuminga, man, for the first time in a long time, I felt like the young dudes on that team were the guys that were playing for something. Like the Steph, Clay. I mean, Clay looks. You want to talk about people looking uncomfortable out there, man. Clay looks uncomfortable. I mean, he just does not. I used to think every shot Klay Thompson threw up was going in, and now I just feel like every shot is probably going to miss. It just doesn't feel consistent to me at all.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's the same 3 guys that have done everything for. And listen, Draymond is coming back from a vacation. I don't know. It's not technically a suspension. Listen, he loves Adam Silver. I would too if I was able to cuck him in front of the entire world and not get suspended after assaulting guys for a decade plus. But whatever he came back from, he's back. So you expect a little bit of rust coming off of that. At the same time, that's like your guys. You've won champion. You've had a true dynasty together with those guys. And Clay just does not look like he belongs, right? Which is a little bit it's a little bit like, okay, they're getting older, but like his skill set has never been just athleticism. I saw the compilation of the Clay layup package on Twitter this week, which was hilarious. but it's been like catch and shoot, like move and shoot, like go get this done. And that's something you would expect to translate a little bit, right? And
Yeah.
it just hasn't. It's weird. And by the way, shout out to Grizz Girl 179. Great to have you in here. Somebody go tweet out strength and numbers for me real quick. I want to see that. And the Grizz Twitter, make sure we get that thing going because I want to see it go. But what do you think is the cause of that? Do you think it's just like he's just old, like the injuries and stuff have caught up with him? Or is this something you think the Warriors can figure out?
I mean, I think it's a player whose career has been affected by injuries, not realizing that he needs to change how he plays. I don't think that. I think Clay hasn't changed much about since coming back. I mean, those 2 injuries were rough, man. The fact that he came back at all is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But like, you got to realize you're not the same player, and he's not playing differently. The team isn't using him differently. Like, Kerr isn't utilizing him differently. I think it's a little bit of both. I think the injuries have affected him, but I think it's more of just like dude, you're not a mental thing. Like, dude, you are not the same dude that you were pre-injury. You're just you're not. You're just not.
It's all good. You caught yourself. I've gone on my fair share of rants on here, so we're good to go. That's what's so odd to me, though. I don't feel like his play style should be that affected, right? It's one of those where it's like, man, you get to your spot and you shoot your shot. But and part of it was there were a lot of shots for the Warriors tonight, just fair is fair, in and out. They had a lot of in and out shots tonight, and Clay included. But at the same time, for some reason, it's like he's not as much of a threat, it feels like. And so I just don't understand why they can't get it going. Other than I don't think Steve Kerr's a good coach. I think he's been a phony the whole time. I think he's been a phony hypocrite and a virtue signaling a-hole for forever. And I think everybody, including Warriors fans, is kind of ready to be done with that whole thing. At the same time, it doesn't feel like you should have to make an adjustment. Like, it feels like you should just do what you've always done. Maybe the other pieces around him don't work. I don't know. But listen,
is it that they don't work, or is it they do what they already have? Kind of this do they have repeat guy like Pods? I feel like Pods is what is that? Yeah,
I'm with Keith. The chemistry's not there. The question is, why isn't it there? And that doesn't make any sense. That it doesn't make any sense that team would not have the chemistry they've had for years and years and years. But it's clearly not there. And listen, I've never claimed to be a Klay Thompson fan. It's well documented. I'm not a fan of Klay Thompson. At the same time, the dude's been an unbelievable basketball player, make the Hall of Fame. That's been one of the best shooting guards in the league for a long time, and it just doesn't look the same. All the same, Warriors, that's a really bad loss for them. They should be feeling really bad about themselves. But on the Grizzlies side, again, pull off the win, 116-107. Good stuff from the young guys. We're going to get to some specific guys here in our second segment right after the break, but I do want to get your thoughts just outside of the 2 young guys. You already know we're going to talk about them. We haven't even talked about it, and I know you know what we're going to talk about. Anything else from tonight's game stand out to you from anyone in particular or the team as a whole?
Conchar getting a DMP, I thought was pretty weird. Considering the lack of bodies, I just thought that a DMP just felt like a not a damnation, but like that seemed pretty telling to me. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't get some minutes. I don't know.
See, I'm actually on the other side of that one. I'm going to push back on that a little bit because when everybody got hurt, the first thing I said was Conchar is going to be the one whose minutes get hurt because this season's a wash, right? Yeah. There's no making the playoffs this season. Really, you want to not tank, but you want to play these young guys, see what you can get out of them, see what development you can do, and then go from there. And hopefully you get a good draft pick at the same time. Maybe make some moves midseason if the right thing opens up. Conchar doesn't fit into that. You know what Conchar is. You know how he plays with your guys. You know how he fits. He'll get enough minutes to stay like playing and stay like a part of the team, I think. But he's a guy whose minutes are going to get hurt, right? They want to see what they got out of Roddy, Zaire, Gigi, Jake, even though Jake's now out for 3 weeks because of course he is.
3 weeks.
And so you're going to be trying to see what you get out of these guys. And so I think Conchar's minutes are going to be the ones that the one that suffers the most likely.
I mean, that's a good point. Like hearing you, it's like we've seen his ceiling. Well, we know what his ceiling is. We know.
Yeah, I don't think that means anything for his long-term play with the team. Generally speaking, I think he's fine. It's just going to be, they want to see what they got, these young guys. Last thing, Gilliard, I've seen him a couple of times from Big Die, Keith here in the chat. Gilliard needs to shoot that shot.
Yeah, he does, dude.
Shoot it. But we talked to me and Krista on the last show a little bit. He's going to keep getting minutes. Like, you want to see the other guys around him develop, and he's a good true point guard. And he can knock down some shots. He's proven it in the past. He'll prove it again and again. So good things out of Gilly, good things out of the team as a whole. We are going to take a slight little break, a short one. We're going to go to our guy. He's a little bit sick, but after the commercial break, we're going to come by, talk about two of the youngest guys on the team and why they might be the most important guys for the rest of the season. Be right back after the break.
Because I think everyone is saying that Ja's the best player we ever had.
Correct.
Are we ready to put Bane? Where are we putting Bane at?
So I think that he is a top 3 offensive player ever in the franchise.
Right. Easy.
And the reason I give him top 3 is because Zebo was a bad dude. Offensively, like everything. He was one of my favorite Grizzlies ever. He might be my favorite Grizzly. Yeah. Bane is right there with him now already.
But if you're putting an all-time Grizzly starting 5, is he your shooting guard or are you going Tony Allen?
100% I'm going Bane. I hated Tony Allen.
Bro, I appreciate Tony Allen and what he did.
100%.
But the whole Tony Allen run, like the fan response to him and like the levels we put him in, I was like, I'm sorry, y'all, love y'all, but I don't look at Tony the way y'all do.
This is going to be terrible. And it's going to be slanderous, but you're going to love it. He is a better defensive John Conchar.
Oh, stop. Stop.
Whoa.
No.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Grizz 901 postgame show. Grizz just pulled off the win, 116-107 versus the Golden State Warriors, who are not the Warriors of old. If you're new to the show, know that Daniel is the only one that would compare John Conchar to Tony Allen here. You will not find that elsewhere within Bluff City Media. So do miss our guy, wishing him well. He's a little sick right now, so hopefully he can get back. But
I hadn't seen that one, dude. I hadn't seen that one. I was dying. I was like, what?
Yeah, he said that, and I made sure to disown him publicly when he came back with that. But got our guy, Luke Hatmaker, at Luke Tino on Twitter, host of the Daily Grind, joining us. We got to talk about a couple of guys. One of them, G.G. Jackson. So we got two guys we're going to talk about here. Vince and G.G. lead the Grizzlies to victory tonight. Make no mistake about it. Those were the two main dudes for us tonight. Luke, tell me about these guys.
Man, I knew, G.G. was a plus 23. Sorry, I just saw that. I was like, I knew he was good, but that's crazy. That's crazy. Man. He's 19 years old. Dude is 19 years old.
That's unbelievable. And youngest guy in the league. Here's the thing that got me on the last game. He was the first one since Andrew Bynum to record, I think it was 20-5 in a game. It didn't bother me until I realized that thing had held since 2006. That's a 17-year, 18-year now. God, it's 2024 record that GG broke. But, dude, what did you see from GG tonight? Obviously the shot making, but just overall play. What did you see?
Man, the fearlessness of
yes.
A 19-year-old kid playing with the fearlessness like that is pretty amazing. Like just seeing, like, he ain't shrinking down. He don't care that he's playing, Draymond, Steph, Clay. The dude is fearless, and it's not like a douchebag fearlessness. It's like a joyful fearlessness because the kid loves to play basketball. Like, you just watch him out there, and he's just – I don't know if I've seen someone that loves hooping as much as him in a long time, and it's pretty freaking cool that he's on this team.
He doesn't think. He doesn't think. He just plays. Like, there's some guys who say he doesn't think, and it's a bad thing. With G.G. Jackson, it is he doesn't think, and the Grizzlies need more of that. Like, they need more of that, man. And this is what you see with Zaire. What do you think? Confidence. He thinks too much. Luke thinks too much. Roddy doesn't think too much. He's just David Roddy. He is your end of the bench. Love to have him, but probably not going to be the guy that steps up as your main piece guy.
Nah.
Love David Roddy. Still lead the fan club. Still want him on this team and think he does a lot of intangibles for you.
Same.
All that to say, he's not going to be the guy who we think GG will be. He doesn't think he just balls out, man. And that was the main thing I saw tonight. None of the moment was too big for him. You're on TNT on Martin Luther King Jr. Day in Memphis. Going up against Steph Curry. You're sitting there against Jonathan Kuminga, who I'm personally not a huge fan of. Imagine that's a Warrior I'm not a fan of. But he sits there and he's won a championship. He's been a part of that culture for a while now. And you are going toe-to-toe with him on defense. Offense, obviously, did what he did. But defensively, didn't skip a beat. I mean, that's big things from a guy who's 19 years old and playing in his really second NBA game, man. So it was unbelievable, but just an instinct for the game. He's got such an instinct for the game. The drives, everything else has been solid, but the shot making, I knew he could shoot.
Not like that.
5 for 8 from 3 on, again, a quick trigger. I mean, he got that thing off quick tonight.
His release was so fast. Sometimes I missed the shot. I was just kind of looking down and I'd be like, man, again?
Dude, it was unbelievable. It was so fast.
We've wanted a guy like him for so long.
Well, again, he just goes out there and balls, right?
Yeah.
I think we have seen a little bit more consistency from Zaire, which I think is good. I think Roddy is what he is, right? He's a guy that he's going to give you decent wing minutes when you have other guys out there who can be the main guys, right? Roddy's also a bit of a heater guy, right? Unfortunately, he's not a scorer to the level of like a Jordan Clarkson, or even if you want to go this route, like a Lou Williams, something like that. But he's like, when he gets on heaters and he gets going, and that's his contribution. My thing I like about Roddy is he's not afraid to go to the rim, right? He's not afraid to challenge the defense. At the same time, LOL, nope. It gets rough. He dribbles it off his leg a lot. He seems to have regressed this year as opposed to progressed. But back to the main guys we're talking about here. GG, last thing on him, I just looked up at his defensive numbers. 2 steals, 2 blocks tonight. I mean, he was all over the floor, right? And it's going to take some time for him to figure some stuff out and to get things going. But the eye test passed tonight. The numbers in the eye test passed. He looks like he's at home. The moment doesn't look too big for him.
Nope.
To the other guy, Vince Williams. David thinks the less he smiles, the better he gets. I don't know about that. What do you think?
I think he should wear the headband forever. I'm team headband. You know this. I don't have one near me. I'm a headband guy. I love headbands. The more headband I can see, the better. I think he should always wear the headband. I think he's cold when he wears it. He kind of looks like Kevon Looney, but like shrunk down and not as hard to run. I like it. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, listen, I know you're a headband guy. We are all excited about your passion for headbands. But
headbands, baby.
Generally speaking, man, Vince, I was curious as to how he would step up when he's not filling in a very specific role for this team. Tonight he stepped up. What did you see from Vince outside of the normal maniacal defense and getting up the 3-point shots?
It's another guy. I don't want to copy I'm going to copy it anyway. Fearless, man. Like, it doesn't matter who Vince is guarding, but okay. You've seen Futurama. There's a Futurama. There's a robot called Clamps. He just has clamps for hands. And that's who Vince reminds me of. Cause he just clamps on, and like it doesn't matter who it is. These dudes are just like, they're not scoring. I mean, they're scoring, but he's making dudes that are like 50-point scorers look pedestrian.
Yep.
Like Hall of Famers. I like future Hall of Famers. Steph, Luka, KD. He's making these dudes look pedestrian. And he's 22, 23. I don't know how old he is, but like the dude he's just so fun to watch too. Like him and GG both are just like, there's like intricate parts of their game that are just like methodical, and they're just together too, man. Like when they were on the floor together, it was just like, I'm watching hoops. Like, this is basketball. This is what you would show aliens play. Like, this is basketball.
Well, and I haven't had a chance to listen to the interviews yet. It sounds like Gigi and Vince both got interviewed after the game tonight, which I'm sure TNT absolutely hated. Suck at TNT. But D'Angelo Hall saying that in the comments, talking about how the money helps his family. That's a dude who has just been grinding it out. And you absolutely love to see it, man. It's just fantastic to see. And again, King Meeks, it's got the heart, dude. Him,
He does.
Gigi. It's what you love about Dez, Ja, Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Allen, Zach Randolph, Mike Conley. Memphians have an attachment to guys that play with that kind of heart and that kind of edge, right? And that's why I think we love guys like that so much. Why we think we'll love Gigi at the same time. It's really good to see. But Vince, what I really like from him, just from a purely basketball technical standpoint, playmaking, dude. He's just making stuff happen. You know, there's the one fast break they had when you saw Gigi going for the lob, and I think it was Wiggins broke for the lob the last second. I was like, oh, Vince is going to smoke this layup, man. I was like, he's about to smoke this layup. And then he put it in. But all night you saw him play make, and we've seen him throw the lob to Gigi last game. Like, there's a level to Vince's game that I think is yet to be tapped into that we have a chance now to see really come out with the added opportunity. Now, it's not going to be what you want to see from him long term. It's not his role on this team long term. But if he can develop that, if he can become that guy that has that extra piece to his game as they come forward and come back next year fully healthy, have him being able to create off the dribble, make other guys better, that's huge for him.
Yeah. And huge for this team, man. Like, if they have the Tony Allen successor, and except maybe he's able to get a couple notches more, like, except if he's able to develop his game more in certain areas, like, look out, man. Like, this team, Vince is already dangerous. Like, he's only going to get better. Like, he's not going to get worse.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, any guys that have grinded out in the G League like that, willing to grind it out, those are guys who you want on your team. Same thing with Xavier Tillman, for that matter. He's willing to go to the G League and grind it out. But the difference is Vince brings that skill set that's so hard to come by to this team. And so that's huge. It's huge to have that skill set. And again, playmaking wise, obviously he tied for the team lead in rebounds tonight, him and David Roddy, both with 7 rebounds. They barely get beat on the boards, but listen, anytime the team that only has Jaren that's above, I think, 6'9", does well on the boards, it's a good thing. 4 assists, only got outpaced by Jaren and Luke tonight. Shout out to Jaren, continuing to increase his playmaking. Shout out Goon in the comments. I know you love that. But absolutely awesome stuff out of Vince. Leads the team in scoring tonight. Hit some threes, some really timely shots. And again, the playmaking is so big. The playmaking is so big for this team. But really good stuff. And, you know, there's one thing I think I do want to hit on. We didn't hit on in the game preview. And I'm looking at it because Vince had 3 tonight, which is the team high. But for a guy with the ball in his hands that much is not that bad. Only 11 turnovers tonight to the Warriors 25. 19. The Warriors 19. That's been an issue for this team.
Yeah, it has been.
And tonight, again, national television, MLK Day, got a bunch of guys who are barely, not even 21 years old. A lot of guys who can't drink on the floor right now. And they show out. So,
not only that, man, they look like the grown-ups. They look like the grown-up team.
Dude, weird.
It's weird.
I keep going back to the Warriors, man. Listen, I think the Grizzlies had a great game. Warriors and Warriors fans have a real reason to be concerned. There's a reason that team is looking to sell, to say the least. But last thing on this before we head into our last segment, we're going to keep it kind of short tonight. Again, holiday. I want to make sure to get back, have some family time. They're already being nice letting us be here in the first place, let's be honest. Yeah. David Vickers here. Gigi told TNT he gives credit to the coaches for making him better. Vince and Gigi both got a lot of heart, but humble dudes. And that was a question to Gigi coming out of college, right?
Yeah.
Is it going to be coachable? Seem to have issues in South Carolina. Is it going to be able to work out? Clearly it is. Clearly the guy has taken advice that plenty of guys that are that talented don't. And so you just love to see it. But we're going to take a move into our last segment here in just a second, but I want to make sure because these guys are so awesome tonight, we give them all the credit in the world, hit on everything. Is there anything I missed about how awesome these guys were tonight?
I mean, shout out to Keith in the comments too. He brought it up. Shout out to the G League in general. You know, like the work that can be done down there, and if these guys put in the time, you know, you got to treat it like a job. It's your job. Treat it like a job, and we're developing those dudes down there. And like, who's going to be the next guy? We still got one contract open. You know, I'm excited. And look at Gilliard too. Like just what the G League can do. It's just impressive, man. Like we've gotten 2 back-to-back 20-point games from a guy on a 2-way. That was after utilizing Vince for however long we were on a 2-way. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's good to see because it's not how it was when we were kids, right? You didn't see people in the D League back then, right? You didn't see guys coming out of the D League. Pause. Didn't see guys coming out of the D League and contributing like they do today. But I saw somebody talking about like Chris Middleton, Pascal Siakam. Who else? There was a couple others coming out of the G League, but
Kevin
real
Looney,
players.
didn't he?
Kevin Looney, another one, came out of there, playing as real contributors on championship teams. So you absolutely love to see it. And these guys, further proof of it. So we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to get back. We're going to preview the game against the T-Wolves. If you have anything else you want to talk about in the chat, listen, we're here for you. We're all friends. This is why we're here. Again, we're going to get each other through the rest of the season, no matter how rough it gets. So if you got anything you want to hit on in chat, make sure you put it in there. In the meantime, we're going to go real quick to a break. Be right back in just a minute.
Yeah, because Zach Randolph went into the Blazers organization that had some characters. Underline the word characters,
Right.
okay? He's coming from Michigan State. He's from Marion, Indiana. And then you go to Portland, Oregon, which it's an entirely different culture, entirely different demographic. He had people around him who were guys from Marion. Hey, you owe us. Anthony, one of the key memories of my time here in Memphis, off the court, I did a Read to Achieve event with Zach Randolph. And the kid who read the most books, his prize was to get to interview Zach Randolph. And the young man, first question to Zach is, what's the hardest thing for a black athlete to learn? And Zach did not give him any, like BS fluff answer. He said, a lot of times the people who say they're your friends, they're not your friends. And you have to pick the people around you very, very wisely.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the show. I see we're still hating on Jaron in the comments. So learned our lesson. Listen, just as a thing for the rest of this game or the rest of the season, there's going to be some things that don't go very well. Do not jump to reactions. Even about Gigi, I'm like, dude, he is so awesome right now. He might be horrible next game. Doesn't change the fact that he looks like 3 of the future, right? So, a lot of good stuff out of these guys. We got D'Angelo here saying Goon is more consistent than Jaron. So I do have to say, Goon is super consistent, I will say. But listen, it's pretty hard to be consistent when you get double teamed and they dare everyone else to shoot. So it's going to be rough for Jaron. But if you're just joining the show, thank you so much for joining. We will be here with you every game possible as long as we're healthy. We almost didn't have anybody healthy for tonight. So glad we were able to get on. But if you're just getting here, great win. Grizz beat the Warriors 116-107. We just got done giving the young guys, Vince and Gigi Jackson, their flowers. And Luke, while I'm on the topic of flowers, did you know Pew's has gone from flower shops to all general lawn maintenance?
No.
I do, because it's the 3rd time I've done this ad read. But I will say Pew's Flowers, great business in Memphis if you never used them. I literally had it set up to automatically send my grandmother flowers every year. But what I didn't know before we started doing this, and they were a proud sponsor of the Grizz 901 postgame show, is that they now do lawn maintenance. So Pew's Residential Spray, take care of all your weed control and fertilization needs. If you want to create that perfect weed-free lawn, then call Pew's Residential Spray today for a free estimate at 901-633-2118. Let them know the Grizz 901 crew sent you. Please do, so they can know that people do watch our show. Some people don't know that. They do watch our show. And if you know, Jaron goes off every time I talk trash about him, so maybe I should bring some more Goon comments up. But make sure you let them know that the Grizz 901 crew sent you. They've been around here for 30-plus years serving the Mid-South. Remember, with Pew's, You get big company strength, small company values. Charlie Vines here in the chat. No idea who that guy is. Definitely don't know him, but loves Pew's lawn maintenance. Who doesn't love Pew's lawn maintenance? Really? And so the Coons comment got up right there. No free comments up here for you. But seriously, I'm very thankful for Pew's and for Smart Cars in Memphis, both sponsoring the show. Very thankful for them. Give them a call. Let them know we sent you for sure. Now, getting into the meat of the matter. T-Wolves are coming up on Thursday.
Yuck.
Bit of a different beast than what you just faced for sure. But what are your thoughts around this team that's played really, really well this year?
They've also played really healthy this year.
Imagine that.
I think that's important. I look, they're good, man. Like although I have been noticing like they're not as good as they were at the beginning of the season. You know, like I don't want to say there's cracks in the armor, but they're not playing as tight knit as they were, I would say. And there's always that team that starts out really, really hot that cools off a little bit. I do think Gobert is gonna. I don't know. There's a lot of guys on this team. Oddly enough, I think that Vince. I'm not worried about Ant. I think Vince might clamp Ant, like clamping him down. With Jaren. Oh yeah, knock on wood. Oh god, everywhere. I did it, didn't I? I'm worried. Like Gobert and Cat, they're big. I worry about their size and our lack thereof. That worries me a lot. I just don't know. I just don't know what we do with that.
We've got Allen, AC Surreal, LOL nope. Everybody knows the problem. The problem is they have two legit 7-footers who are bigger than our biggest player, who is pretty big.
Yep.
and Jaren is all we got, right? And Jaren struggles to play really big. Who knows? This may be the game he goes off, because I really thought he'd go off tonight. Lo and behold, he doesn't do anything in the paint. That's going to be the concern, right? Can they figure out a way to neutralize that? And it's hard when you don't have much to work with. Santi's the other big, and man, that's just Santi's got some mean in him, but he is not a strong rebounder, right? It's not a strong defender. So we will have to see if they find a way to do it. I thought it was pretty bleak coming into this game. That game I'm very concerned about, to be honest. But hits it on the head. Yeah, you're gonna have to hit shots, right? And that's what happened tonight. You had multiple threats start making shots. They make 25 threes tonight. Was that the number?
It was.
Let's go back to the box.
They made
20 threes, 37% from the floor. You got to shoot like that. Honestly, you probably got to shoot a little bit better.
Luke's going to have to shoot more and make more.
Yeah, and make more being the key word. He's missed a lot of open shots from expected. Made a big one tonight, though. Pushed that lead to double digits. That was big time. But they're going to have to make some shots. And honestly, something I think they're going to have to do, they got to get to the paint, which sounds so opposite of what we're talking about, right? But you've got to find a way to put some kind of pressure on the paint. And listen, you may just not be able to. Like, they may just be so big you can't do anything in the paint. But you've got to try and get there. So I would hope we get a little bit more out of, like, Roddy in this game, because he'll actually drive. Gigi clearly has earned some run tonight. We'll see if Taylor sticks with it, depending on how it goes. But you got to find a way to get in the paint, man. It's got to happen.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but there in the fourth quarter, they showed like how many points we had in the paint versus how many points the Warriors had in the paint. It was like 50-19 or something. And it was like, holy God, what are we doing?
Here's what happened tonight. Do you know how many free throws each team shot tonight?
Can I look really? Wait, we had like double or triple the amount they did, didn't we?
Yeah, we beat them by 30 in the free throw department. So the Warriors shot 10 free throws. The Grizzlies shot 40 free throws. And if you watch the game, that's one of those games where that's not a product of poor officiating, right? Now, listen, Jenna Schroeder was on one tonight. She was on that whistle a lot. All that to say, the Grizzlies, what happened was they got away from being so three happy and attacked the paint. pretty much the entire game after the first quarter.
Mhm.
They got to do that. They got to do that. And Grizzlies shot 40-10. 40-10 is a huge number. As a Warriors fan, I know I would be livid.
Yeah.
But as a Grizzlies fan who's watched this a lot, there's plenty of times the Grizzlies get outshot by 20-something from the free throw line, and it's because they keep shooting threes.
I felt like we were in the bonus like the whole game.
They were. And the thing is, against the Timberwolves, you got to find a way to get in the paint. Cat will foul you. Gobert is really good, but even he will foul you. You've got to find a way to get in the paint, man. And so,
and if you can get like two early fouls from both of them, or like two, that'll be huge. You can get them with 2 or 3, you know.
Yeah, listen, there's chance. I'm laughing because we got King Meeks in the comment, Colin, Cat, and I'm sorry. I think it's reversed. Gobert and Cat, trash and soft. Historically, you're not incorrect. This year, they've been pretty deadly. So, listen, I know there's something between us and the Timberwolves. Got to give credit where credit's due. They've got an awesome team. They've got 3 of our favorites, Conley, Anderson, and then, well, my favorites, Anthony Edwards. I've wanted him to be a Grizzlies for like 2 years now. So
yeah, they got 3 dudes that are real ones that I'll root for. I like those 3 guys. I love Slow-Mo.
Yeah, it's I love them. I would love to have. Well, I'd love to have basically any warm body at this point for the Grizzlies.
Conley's your guy, though. Conley's your boy.
Conley's my guy, man. Favorite Grizzly of all time. The only Grizzlies jersey still to this day I've ever owned. Love him. Would love to see him back up John Morant. That is the dream. See him come back up John Morant. But as far as this game goes, size is going to be absolutely huge. Defensive intensity, I'm much less worried about because they seem to keep finding a way to consistently do that to teams.
Yeah.
But the big thing is going to be the biggest part of it. But apart from that, Grizz obviously got to shoot a decent percentage from 3. Anything else in this matchup that you're like, hey, this has to go the Grizzlies' way. This guy has to go show up. What else has to go right? What's the other thing for Memphis on Thursday?
I mean, there's not much more we can do. You know, like we're just running out of options at this point. You know, like and if we are going to be a sorry team to watch if we don't make these things. We're at the point now where the margin for error against every single team is going to be so specific and so different. It's just like son of a bitch. We just gotta hope.
Well, and listen, games like this, you love them, you soak them in. Awesome win tonight. You got to soak them up because the same guys who actually go off tonight could just like not show up at all. Who knows? The way the Grizzlies work, they may show up in the injury report and literally not show up to the game on Thursday. So, you know, what you want to see, I think D'Angelo hits it on the head. You want to see him just bring that energy. That's what got them tonight. That's what's getting them to where they are. And that's what we want to see from this team going forward. It's the only thing you can consistently do time after time after time, right? So want to keep seeing that happen. And who knows? Listen, you make shots. This is the NBA. Shots go in, good team, bad team, good team, bad team. Good team if the shots go in, right? So maybe we get the Luke Kennard 10 for 11 from 3 night, something like that. But we'll see. That's going to be on Thursday night. We'll be here again. We're going to be here every game we possibly can. We're going to make sure somebody is here in studio giving a good post-game show. Thank you for everyone hopping in the streetcars of Memphis chat over here. Thank you so much. It's what makes this show fun. Make sure you're here on Thursday. Daniel will probably be back for then. But got a couple of days break off. I know I'm personally going to enjoy it. I had a work retreat this past week. That's why I did a show from a hotel bedroom.
Nice.
I need some sleep. But still excited to be back here on Thursday night. Luke, anything else on that game Thursday night? I think we might call it short and get out of here if not.
Yeah, no, that's good for me, man. If you need some content before then, come hang out with me tomorrow morning. I'll be doing the daily grind the next 2 mornings. We'll find something to talk about. Yeah,
make sure you check that out. We got Luke and our boss man, Mark King, over there. I personally can deal with Mark. It's fine. But go listen to Luke. Go listen to Luke. Seriously, those 2 guys, it's super fun to hear them talk basketball. And make sure you check out all of our shows. We've got this on the Bluff, Tigers Untapped, Anthony Sain's show, Core 4. We've got all the shows you could possibly want covering your Grizzlies, Tigers, and everything in between.
The new
Tigers
post-game show.
especially.
We got that new
I
post-game
know.
show for the Tigers.
Almost forgot. Did massive numbers, by the way. Congrats to our guy, Francis Carlota.
Yeah.
Debut. Sorry, I was going to say preview. Debut of the Tigers post-game show last game. Guys, make sure you go check that out. You want to get exactly what you get over here, but some prettier faces, and over there for the Tigers. Go check it out. Awesome show. Penny's got a heck of a team this year. And listen, Francis is the Tigers guy. So make sure you go check it out. Awesome stuff. Got last thing here. Did we ice skate on the streets of Memphis? Neither one of us is in Memphis, unfortunately.
Nashville got hit, though. We got 8 inches in Nashville.
I have been sort of skating on ice, not on purpose, but skating on a little bit. But everybody in the storm, make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're staying good, especially tonight. I hated seeing seats empty, but I'm glad a lot of people stayed safe and didn't put themselves in harm's way. So make sure you're staying safe if you're back in the city. Other than that, that's all we got. Luke, you got any pieces coming out? I know you've got some exciting stuff on the docket, I think.
I've got a piece coming up tomorrow, actually. If I can get, I'm going to finish it when I get off here. It's about guys we can sign with the hardship.
Gotcha. Well, it's just like, I'm very interested then.
Which is like really below the line guys that can help us that are still out there.
Anyone who watches the show knows that I don't know nothing about nothing when it comes to salary roster construction. I just text you and I ask what's happening because I have no
like, here you go, Brian.
But make sure you're checking out all of Bluff City Media. Again, we got a bunch of good shows, good content, but the written content. Again, we have all the hustle content as well that's coming out. Unbelievable stuff. So make sure you check out some of these articles. I know Luke's got a bunch of good pieces on the board as well. But with that, we're going to call it an early one. We're actually going to call it an early one. Dano's going to be so mad that there's a show that went under an hour, and it's because of me. He's going to be so mad about that. Luke, can't thank you enough for joining the show, man. Everyone in the comments, thank you so much. Great Grizz win tonight. A lot of fun getting to see that play out again against the Warriors. National TV. None of your guys healthy on MLK Day. That's Memphis in a nutshell. It's a Memphis miracle almost. But listen, those guys played their hearts out. It's not a miracle. It's hard work. So love it. Right. Make sure you join us again on Thursday. We'll be back against the T-Wolves. Until then, be nice. Tell your friends.